All right, I want to go ahead and address the confusion regarding this holding call on this run play during last night's Monday Night Football game between the Chiefs and the Saints. The first being that the referees gave the wrong number. Carl Granderson, number 96, was not holding on the play. The number should have been number 90, Brian Brezzi, because he is holding up Trey Smith from being able to climb up to the next level to block the linebackers. And the second thing is I do want to clarify, there is defensive holding on a run play. One of the things that I saw a lot of people saying was, they're calling defensive holding on a run play. Yes, defensive holding on a run play does exist. It's not just on pass plays. And I'm going to show you where in the rule book this is. So if you open up the NFL rules, you can go to the NFL rule book online, you'll see that under Rule 12, Articles 5 and 6, you'll read the following. Legal use of hands or arms by defense. A defensive player may use his hands, arms, or body to push, pull, or ward off offensive players. A, when he is defending himself against an obstructing opponent while attempting to reach the runner. When an opponent is obviously attempting to block him. In a personal attempt to reach a loose ball that has touched the ground during a backward pass, fumble, or kick. D, during a forward pass that has crossed the neutral zone and has been touched by any player. And E, during a kick. See 6.2 and 9-1-4 for blocking restrictions during a kick. And then if you go to Article 6, you'll see defensive holding. It is a foul for defensive holding if a defensive player tackles or holds any opponent other than a runner, except as permitted in Article 5. For this purpose, a player is considered a runner while in the pocket if a teammate pretends to give him the ball and or he pretends to possess the ball. B, during a punt, field goal attempt, or try kick attempt. B1, player B1 of Team B grabs and pulls an offensive player out of the way, allowing the second player to shoot the gap, pull, and shoot in an attempt to block an apparent kick, except if B1 is advancing towards the kicker. So what does that mean? Well, basically, as long as you are being blocked by, and it's obvious that you're being blocked by an offensive player, then you can do whatever you need to get away. However, if that player is not actively engaged with blocking you, just like if an offensive player were to try and grab a defensive player and pull them back to prevent them from going and making a tackle or going and making the play and making a stop, if an offensive player is trying to get to the next level or trying to work their way to another defensive player and they're not actively blocking you and you grab them and you hold them, then it is a penalty. And that's what you see on the film. You'll see that Brian Brezzi's arms, his hands come actually outside of the shoulders of Trey Smith. If he had kept his hands inside right here on, grabbing the chest pad, I don't think it gets called. But because his hand was outside and he's grabbing and pulling and preventing Trey Smith from climbing up, that's why it's called. Now, you could think that's ticky-tack. Yes, I think it was kind of ticky-tack as well, but it is a hold. Brian is grabbing and holding on the outside shoulder of the offensive lineman. So yes, there is defensive holding, like I've said multiple times. And notice the language that was used, especially here during Part B of defensive holding of Article 6, Rule 12. Notice it says you can't grab and pull the player. So that's why when the Giants did what they did against the Seahawks, they were just pushing down on the blockers of the field goal attempt. They weren't pulling them out of the way. They weren't pushing them out of the way. They weren't holding them. They were just basically pushing down on them, which by rule is not illegal. And that's why the block counted and then the return for a touchdown. So hopefully that clarifies some things for you. Defensive holding can occur. It's very rare, but it can occur. When I coach defensive line, a lot of the times we would really work on just grabbing the chest plate to really kind of pull them back in and keep them tight to us. Because if they get away, then it would show that we were holding them. But these are things that will be done, especially on like line stunts. You might engage and then grab a little bit of that chest plate to pull them back to you to keep them close and keep your arms inside to get away with it. So that's why it was called, and that's just to clarify any confusion regarding this play. Let me know your thoughts down below. Let me know what you think with regards to this. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to leave a like. If you enjoy this type of content, please make sure to subscribe. We'll see you next time, though. Have a great rest of the day. I do want to recognize the members of this channel at the booster level and above for their support. If you wish to have your name in a video just like this, make sure to check out the join link in the description below. Here on the end screen, you can see that there's another recommended video. Make sure to click that and watch it. Also, make sure to subscribe so that you don't miss out on any future breakdown videos. I hope you have a great rest of the day.